Rahim. All my dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is Hira Kadir, lecturer of mathematics from Government Degree Girls College, Ibrahim Hadri. Today we will discuss chapter number 2 of second year pre-engineering mathematics. The name of the chapter is The Straight Line, and the topics that we will cover today will be the Cartesian coordinate system, distance between 2 points, and midpoint formula. So let's start our first topic, the Cartesian coordinate system. Students, have you ever heard the word Cartesian plane? If the answer is no, then I will suggest you to just recall the graph of a straight line or the graph of linear equation that you did in your previous classes. Graph is basically provides you the place where you locate the point or specify the point in a plane. The plane which you use to plot a graph is nothing but a Cartesian plane. So basically, Cartesian coordinate system specifies each point uniquely in a plane by a pair of numerical coordinates. Its main function is to plot or graph ordered pair xy. How can we obtain a Cartesian plane? So it's basically can be obtained when two straight lines intersect each other perpendicularly. The plane is nothing but the Cartesian coordinate plane. The point where these straight lines meet each other is known as your origin. And the line that is parallel to horizon is your x-axis, and the line which is perpendicular to it is actually your y-axis. So let's have a look of the Cartesian coordinate plane. Notes on plotting coordinate pair. This is nothing but the Cartesian coordinate plane. The thing that should be noted here is basically the x-axis is horizontal line, this one, and the y-axis is the perpendicular line. This is your x-axis and this one is your y-axis. The point where this line meets is origin. On the x-axis, positive integers are to the right of the 0, that is here, from here to here will be the positive integers, and the negative integers are on the left of the 0, from here to here. Similarly, the upward part is for the positive y values and the lower part is for the negative y values. So basically the Cartesian coordinates are the x coordinate, which is also known as abscissa or the x-axis or the horizontal line of the graph, and the y coordinate, which is also known as ordinate, y-axis and the vertical line of the graph. The coordinates are written in the form of ordered pair xy and they are perpendicular to each other. That means x is perpendicular to y and y is perpendicular to x. Now the origin is basically the point of intersection of xy, and the coordinate of the origin is 0, 0. That is the starting point of your axis. Here x is 0, similarly y is also 0. The axis of two-dimensional Cartesian plane or the system divide the plane into 4 infinite regions. These regions are called quadrants. This one is the exact pictures of the quadrant. Look at it. When these two lines intersect each other, we obtain 4 different quadrants here, and the quadrant is always calculated in anti-clockwise direction. The first quadrant is this one, and the next is we will go to the anti-clockwise direction, and then the second quadrant will be this one. This is your third quadrant and this one is your fourth quadrant. The point that should be noted here is this one is the positive x values, here we have negative x values, here we have positive y values, and here we have negative y values. So the first quadrant is the quadrant where both x and y are positive. The second quadrant is that where y is positive but the x is negative here. So all the values in which x is negative but y is positive will be located here. In the third quadrant, both x and y are negative, so the points in which both the values are negative will be pointed out or located in the third quadrant. Similarly, the fourth quadrant is the place where y is negative but your x is positive. So it will be like this. Now, this is the final summary of the quadrants. The first quadrant is positive to positive, as I told you that both of them are positive. X is positive and y is positive. In the second quadrant, we will go from negative to positive, that is x is negative and y is positive. In the third quadrant, we have from negative to negative values, that is x is negative and y is also negative here. In the fourth or the last quadrant, we will have the values from positive to negative, that is x is positive but y is negative here. That is the final summary of the all four quadrants. Notes on part of the coordinate plane. This is actual picture of the coordinate plane which point out each and everything here. The line which is horizon to the x-axis is parallel to the horizon is your x-axis. The line which is perpendicular to it is your y-axis. The point where they meet are called origin, and these are the quadrants 1, 2, 3 and 4. And if we are going to locate any point 4, -1 in this Cartesian coordinate plane, then what should we do? Since in 4, -1 x is positive and y is negative, y is -1 here, so it will be in the y is negative and x is positive, it will be in the fourth quadrant. So how can we plot it? Because x is 4 here, so we go on the positive axis of positive x-axis, that is this side, and go 4 units from origin, 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is actual point. Then -1 is downward, and then this -1 and 4 will join this point, it will be your 4, -1. Okay, now all the other terms that are used for x and y are: x is also known as x coordinate or y is known as y coordinate. X is also known as abscissa, as I told you before, and the y is called ordinate. X is also known as domain and the y is called range. X is also known as independent variable, and for the y we use dependent variable. All these terms are used for x and y in different places. Now, how can we plot a point in a coordinate plane? Let's suppose we have a point 4, -5 and -3, -1. Our first point is 4, -5. Because x is positive here and y is negative, so in which quadrant it will be lie? Where x is positive and y is negative, that is in the fourth quadrant it will be. And similarly the second point, x is negative and y is also negative, that means both of them are negative, so both of them are negative in the third quadrant. So this second point will be on the third quadrant. Let's reveal the answer. Look at this, 4, -5. This one is 4, -5. We will take 4 on x-axis, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and on the y-axis we will go down on the 5 unit because 5 is negative. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The 5 and this 4 will meet at this point, so it is your 4, -5. Similarly for the second point, which is -3, -1, since x is negative, so we go on the left side of axis, that is -1, -2 and -3, and for -1 we will go down this one. The point where these -1 and -3 meet is your second point. Hope you will get it. Now come to the next topic, that is distance formula. Students, basically distance formula is used to calculate the distance between two given points. If the points are x1, y1, these are your points in general form, and the second point is x2, y2. For the coordinate of first point we use subscript 1, and for the next point we use subscript 2. So the coordinate of the first point will be known as x1, y1, and the coordinate of second point will be known as x2, y2. Then we can calculate the distance between these 2 points by using the formula x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square under the root. This is known as distance formula. What is distance formula basically? It is the formula that will be used to find the distance between 2 points. Steps to solve a distance formula is basically what we will do to find the distance between 2 points. First we will form a data and label the points x1, y1, x2, y2. As I told you, x1 is the point of the is the x coordinate of the first point, and y1 is the y coordinate of first point, and for the next point we will use x2 and y2 subscript. So just collect the data as x1, y1 and x2, y2 values. Then put them in the distance formula, which is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square under the root. This one is the actual formula, and do the maths. What we will do is just the addition or subtraction or the squaring, simple mathematics. Okay, this is the example. Find the length of a segment given its end point. If the two end points are given to you and you have to find the distance between two of them, that is, the first point is 1, 2 and the second point is 3 minus 2, and you are going to calculate the distance between them, then you will use this formula, which is known as distance formula. The solution of this will be in the next sheet, that is, calculate the distance between C2 minus 5 and D4, 5. These are the 2 points. From between them you have to calculate the distance. First step is just collect the data. The coordinate of the first point will be your x1, y1, and the coordinate of the second point is x2, y2. When you get values of x1, y1 and x2, y2, just put them in this formula. Then we will get, in the place of x1 we put 4 here, in the place of x2 we will put 4 here, and on the place of x1 we will put 2. Similarly, on the place of y2 we put 5 here, and on the place of y1 we put minus 5. So look at this, we will use parentheses here because the one sign is basically from formula, and the next sign is the negative value, the minus sign is of the value, so we can use the parentheses or bracket here. So calculate it carefully. 4 minus 2 will be 2, and the square of 2 will be 4. Then minus minus plus, 5 and 5 will be 10, square of 10 will be 100, and add them. 100 plus 4 is 104. That is your final answer. Now the next example is distance formula is, for example, if we have a circle whose center is at the point 2, 3 and the radius of the circle is 5 units, you have to basically identify, or you have to find the location of this point B, which is 4, 7. You have to find out either it is inside the circle, outside the circle, or on the circle. As all of you know that the point which is lie on the circumference of the circle over here. If the point is on the circumference of the circle or on the boundary wall of the circle, then the distance between that point and the center is always equal to radius. So what we will do here, we will find the length or the distance between A and B. Just calculate this distance. If this is equal to 5, it means the point is lie anywhere on the boundary or the circumference. If the value is less than 5, that means it is inside the circle or if it is greater than 5, then it is outside the circle. So what you will do, you will just find the distance between A and B, and if the answer is 5 unit, it is on the circumference. If it is less than 5, then it is inside, or if it is greater than 5, then it is outside the circle. Next example is, if A, B and C are vertices of triangle ABC, prove that it is isosceles triangle. Students, as all of you know that isosceles triangle is that in which two sides are equal in length. So what we will do, we will just calculate the distance between AB, BC and AC. If any two values of them are equal, then it will prove that these are the vertices of isosceles triangle. On the same pattern, you can also find that either the triangle is equilateral or right angle triangle. For the equilateral triangle, what we will do, we find all the three values of AB, BC and AC. That is all the distance of all the three lines of triangle, and if all of them are equal, then the triangle is equilateral triangle. The next example is, the vertices of quadrilateral ABCD are A, B, C and D. These are the four vertices of quadrilateral, and you have to justify by using distance formula either it is the actual points of quadrilateral or not. What we will do here, we just find the distance between these opposites line AB and CD by using same distance formula and using the points A and B first. Then we calculate the distance between them, and after calculating we get a value under root 53 units. Similarly we did with the CD, and for the CD we use the coordinates of C and D, then applying on the formula, and we will calculate it. The final answer is again under root 53. Similarly we will find the distance between the remaining two sides, that is AD and BC. For AD we use the coordinate of A and D, and then put it in the distance formula and just calculate the distance, which is under root 18 units. And similarly we did BC by taking the values of B and C and putting them in the formula. The final answer is again under root 18. So what we will prove here, we will prove here that BC, this one BC is equal to CD and AD is equal to BC. This implies that it is a parallelogram, or the sides of a basically these are the sides of a parallelogram, or these are the vertices of a quadrilateral or parallelogram. Now come to the last topic, which is midpoint of a line. Midpoint is basically calculated by taking simple average of the points. If we have 2 points, A x1 y1 and B is x2 y2, then just calculate the average of each point, that is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, this one, and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. This coordinate will be the coordinate of your midpoint if the line segment is making by joining A and B. So the midpoint will be x1 plus x2 upon 2 and y1 plus y2 upon 2. Here is the example of midpoint. If we have two values or 2 points, E2 minus 5, this one is your first point, and F minus 6, 8, this one is your second point. What we will do here, just taking the values x1 y1 and x2 y2 and put them in the formula, x1 plus x2 divided by 2, that is 2 plus minus 6, because we have two signs, so we use parentheses here, divided by 2, and then y1 plus y2, y1 is 5 minus 5 and y2 is 8, and then just do the maths. Minus 6 plus 2 is minus 4 upon 2, when the by divided we get minus 2, and minus 5 plus 8 is 3 upon 2, and by solution we get 1 whole 1 upon 2. This is the coordinates of midpoint. Hopefully student that you will understand it. Okay, this is the final summary of both distance formula and midpoint formula. Distance formula is basically what is x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square under the root. If we have 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2, then we will use this distance formula to calculate the distance between them. It is nothing but the Pythagoras formula. Basically it is derived from the Pythagoras theorem. And similarly the midpoint formula is nothing but the average between them. If we have 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2, then the midpoint of the line segment joining these 2 points will be x1 plus x2 upon 2 and y1 plus y2 upon 2. Hopefully student that you will understand the lecture. If there is any problem, any query related to it, you can comment it in the comment section, or you can solve the problems related to the midpoint and distance formula. And if you have any problem regarding the solution of that question, you can ask me in the comment box. I will definitely give you the answer of it, inshallah. Thank you so much for watching the video. Stay blessed and happy. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.